Hi, my name's Shelley and this is my vlog, The Willow Tree Queen. It's a rainy and cloudy Monday morning here in October, and it's my day off, and I usually post a video and I don't have one ready, so I thought I should pop on quickly this morning while I'm drinking my morning coffee and show you what I have been up to. So the first thing I will talk about is what you can see behind me. So I did mention this in last week's vlog. I I bought a very large quilt from eBay after I think this was actually sometime last year when I was first seeing everybody making the quilted jackets, and I was getting a bit of FOMO. So I decided I wanted to have a go and was scouring all of my local charity shops, couldn't find a quilt. I did find a quilt in the end, but it's not very good quality, and it's um, yeah, it wasn't really what I wanted. So I looked on eBay, found this one. Again, it's not exactly what I wanted. It is absolutely enormous. So I had to cut a piece off of it so that I could wash it to be able to make this. And I've still got a lot left. In fact, I've made a pillow so far, and I've used it inside the quilt that I've recently made, and I'll probably be putting it inside as the batting on a number of other projects. So anyway, this pattern is called I'm not sure if it's got a name actually, the actual um, the actual jacket itself, but it's by Lorraine Handmade. I'm just looking at the pattern pieces here to see. So I saw a YouTuber use this pattern to make a quilted jacket out of a sort of a very precious to them children's blanket, and it was just beautiful. I really loved it, and I especially like the neck, the way the neckline goes. And I know there's lots and lots and lots of patterns out there for quilted jackets, but I hadn't heard of this one. So, and it's an eBay purchase that I made, and I don't think it was all that expensive, if I remember correctly. So anyway, Lorraine Handmade is the maker, and she has a YouTube channel on here with some very, very short snippets of how to do various things, including how to size it, because the size chart doesn't make a lot of sense. And I think it's because she's done it on sort of the half width rather than the full width. I personally made a large, which on the size chart in inches says a 22-inch chest, a 24-inch waist, and a 24-inch sleeve. It's good that she gives the sleeve dimensions, but again, I think it is the half. She does have a video, excuse me, every time I try and do this video, this happens to me. This is like the fourth time I've made this video. So anyway, she does have a little video on her YouTube channel, which I'll link below, which explains how you do the sizing. But I really do like this pattern. I'll try to put the jacket on and put some video in. So the first version I made was this one that I made out of a quilt that I found in a local charity shop. That's the sort of center neck join that creates this nice curved neckline. This isn't a very nice quilt. It's not really quilted. It's I don't know if you can see, but it's more like embossed, and it's quite thin. It's not very thick at all. But I thought I wanted to give it a twirl, to give it a go, and I just wanted to make a quilted jacket like everybody else was. And I used the original binding that was around this quilt, and yes, it's nice. This is sort of spring weight. I mean, the patterns and the colour's not for everyone, but it's got birds all over it. And I cut the pockets so that they sort of, made sense. There's the one with the little blue bird. I think this must be an American bird, because I'm sure those red birds are an American bird, not a British bird. But so anyway, so those were my quilt jackets. This one is much thicker. I feel like the Michelin Man when I'm wearing this, and I ran out of binding for the pockets, which is why they're not attached, and I'm trying to decide whether or not I want to attach them. I used the original edge of the quilt for the neckline here, and also I cut the sleeve to the original neckline so that I didn't have to bind the sleeve. I ran out of, as I mentioned, I ran out of the binding, and I need to change my overlocker thread from black to white to actually finish it, so this isn't finished. But yeah, it's coming out really nicely, so I'm very happy with that. I will obviously keep my eye out for more quilted jackets, but I quite like this pattern, and it's not one that I've heard of. So that was that. I think I was going to show you the front pattern piece for this as well. So this is the front of this pattern. and you can see that this is the neckline, so you don't cut a second piece of this. It's all joined together and it just joins at the back. So I really like that feature on this, rather than having a separate joined collar. And you've got the choice of having a curved hem or a not curved hem. So that was that. I've also finished my Jarrah sweater in the spaceship fabric that I got from Simple Life that I mentioned in last week's vlog. I do have one sleeve where my rockets are going the correct direction and one where they're going the wrong direction. But my husband pointed out to me that space doesn't have a direction, so what does it matter? So he's absolutely right. So I'm very happy with my Jarrah sweater there. I will no doubt be having many more of those. And I also did a purchase on the Simplicity sale recently and got a couple of patterns. So I've got Simplicity S9380, which comes in an XL to XS to XL, which is XL is a 22 to 24. Often I won't look at the size range on a pattern, which I know is stupid really, especially given that I'm actually on the upper edge of most of these patterns. But I always think that if I can make it fit, we've got the skills as sewers to make it fit us, right? So anyway, and this is jersey, and it will no doubt have a element of ease in it. So I will check that out. I'm just looking there. It's got the guide to see how stretchy your knit needs to be for this. So it's a raglan sleeve sweater dress, which you can do as a hoodie or as a crew neck. And it's got a, as you see in that view, it's got a long skirt or a gathered skirt, as you can see in these bottom views. And yeah, I just really love it. It's the sort of thing that I would basically live in. So there are the line drawings. So yeah, I'm very happy. I don't think that picture does a lot of justice. It looks very childish in that picture. So yeah, I'm quite looking forward to giving that a go. I don't think I have the right sort of jersey at the moment. I do have the two art gallery jerseys that I bought recently from Minerva, but I'm not sure that I can see myself wearing these in a big sweater dress. And I've only got 1.5 meters, and this pattern says you need at least 3. So especially when you're doing the gather skirts. So I'm not sure that I would be able to get out of this. Obviously, I'm quite short. I'm 4'10", so and this is no doubt drafted for someone much taller than me. But again, I'm not sure. Maybe this one, I can imagine this one is a dress. But anyway, we shall see. I might have to go and buy some jersey. What a shame. The other pattern that I bought was the Simplicity S9265, which I've seen a lot, so I'm sure you have. It's always getting advertised to me. It's a very similar to a lot of dresses that I do have already. Like it makes me think of the Tilly and the Buttons Lyra for some reason, but it's got a different neckline, and it's got a sleeve option, which is quite interesting as well. So if you can see there in the line drawings, that is very similar to the Tilly and the Buttons. What's the tunic called? I can't remember the name of the tunic, but the one with the pin tags on the front. So yeah, so I quite like view 2. But anyway, the reason why I bought this is that I have a tunic that I bought from my charity shop fairly recently. I think it was originally an Apricot brand, and it's got the same sort of collar as this, which is sort of a little stand-up collar and then a V-neck, and it's a tunic, as I said, and I really like it and I want to dupe it, and I thought it would be a lot easier to dupe if I had a pattern that was similar, and this is very similar. So I'm going to give that a go. I think if I was to leave off the elastic that is here, it would be very much more a tunic, and just do sort of the first tier, so like that, without the elastic. That would be basically the apricot top that I've got. So yeah, I'm quite excited, and that extra sleeve option there is really interesting as well. So it'd be like combining the two Tilly and the Buttons patterns into one. So those are the 2 patterns that I bought recently. I've talked about this, and then I guess so now to talk about quilting. I have basically been binge watching the Missouri Star YouTube channel, and one of the things that they show on there is the star quilt. I think they do this thing, I can't remember what it's called, but it's where the three presenters are all presenting at the same time, and they did this one about stars, and I just love the stars. So, and Misty, I think it is, from Missouri Star, showed has a video where you can make a star table runner. So I thought I would give it a go. Bought myself some 10-inch squares from a company whose name I can't remember, so I'll try and put that down below. 10-inch squares are a lot more expensive than I was anticipating. I spent more than I normally do on fabric. I don't know how that happened. Um, and I can't remember the name of the pack that I bought, which again is not very helpful, is it? So I'll try and find the details for that and put it below. Anyway, this is my progress so far, and this is for a table runner. So we've got the big star, two little stars, a big star, and then two little stars, and I've got another set of two little stars on my table to finish this off at the top. So that's pretty much the length that I need. So yeah, so this is my progress so far, and I love it. The grey background, I did actually look for stars for fabric that would go well with grey, because I had this grey sheet that I knew I wasn't going to use for clothing or anything like that, and it was no good for our bed anymore. So this is actually bedding, and so I wanted something that would go quite nicely with grey. So it's not everyone's colorway. I'm sure everybody's not that impressed. And I'm going to bind it and back it, obviously, with a fabric. In fact, potentially, I don't know. I haven't decided what I'm going to back it with, but it will probably be another piece of this quilt that goes inside it. Um, so yeah, so I'm very happy with how that's turned out. It's not without its fault. For instance, this square between these two little stars isn't square, but actually I've done a pretty good job as a first real quilt project that is a bit more complex than just the blocks that I did on my last one, which was the log cabin. So this is a star block, which is a lot more complicated to try and get those points sticking out. So I'm very happy with how that's working out, and it's really slowed me down, which I think is the thing that I like the most about doing quilting, is that I can knock out a dress in half a day, and I was getting to the point where my wardrobe is saturated. I work in the IT industry, and we always talk about sweating assets, which basically means that you'll just use a piece of hardware until it no longer functions. And I'm like that with clothes. So this jumper that I'm wearing is one that I've had for at least 10 years. And I will wear clothes literally until they wear out. And so having the creative outlet where I make my clothes means that I have a bursting at the seams wardrobe. I struggle to make clothes for other people, but I do, and I have made clothes for other people. And I am actually going to see if my mum wants some of the dresses that I've made when I next see her. But yeah, so making clothes, I enjoy the creative outlet, but I don't have the opportunity to wear everything that I make, and it feels a little bit I don't know. It's the hobby. It's the same as making books. My house was getting full of books, and now my house is getting full of clothes. And I mentioned to my mum the other day, I feel sometimes like I'm a celebrity, where you wear clothes once and then you donate it. Maybe that's what I should do. Donate some. But I need to get the uh, brain power. The I need to go and sort my wardrobe out, basically. And I just don't want to do it at the moment, but I do need to do that. So anyway, the point of this little rant, if you like, is that doing quilting instead takes me a lot longer. So this has basically taken me 2 or 3 days to get to this point, because I'm actually being quite meticulous and ironing, which is everything that I said that I don't like doing about clothes making. So because if you don't measure it properly, then your points don't line up. And if you don't cut it correctly, then everything is incorrect. So I kind of wish that I'd taken up quilting before garment making, because you get a lot of good practice in quilting that I definitely skip over when I'm garment making. Because yeah, it's so satisfying when they line up, you know. When I was joining these pieces together to try and to get those lines to line up, it's so satisfying when they do line up, but it is a much slower process. So anyway, unfortunately, if you're into garments and that's why you're here, you may well be seeing a few more quilting projects in the near future. So, but I'm not going to apologize for that because it's what I'm enjoying doing. I have this other set of 10-inch squares that I bought, which are all kind of batik prints, which is likely to become something very soon. And I had to go and buy myself a little ironing pad because I don't really want my ironing board up all the time, but literally between each of these little pieces, I'm ironing them. So I've got my little travel iron here and my ironing thingy, and then I can just plug it in when I need to and just iron the seams as I'm going. So yeah, so this is what I've been up to, and I've got I don't know if I mentioned that I've got the two final stars. So like these two little stars, two more to go on the top, and then I need to figure out how I'm going to bind it and back it and get another piece of this quilt cut out and washed, ready to go. So I think that is everything that I was going to talk about. I have God, sorry. It's the morning, and I think that's probably why. I have rearranged my desk area a little bit, so I've put my overlocker. I think a lot of people do this. I've got one of those 3-tier sort of what are they called? It's like a roller thingy, and it had most of my bookmaking stuff on it. So I've actually put some of my other craft stuff away, and I've turned the top over and I've put my overlocker on it. See if I can turn you around. So rather than showing you my position of my overlocker, I just managed to abruptly end the video. So apologies for that. So I'm just going on just to finish up and say goodbye. I will possibly put a picture in of my new desk so that you can see my new layout, but it's really not that exciting anyway, and you're not missing much. But basically I'm using my Hobbycraft 3-tier tray thingy. I've turned the top tray over and I put my overlocker on top of it, so I've got some more desk space. It's a little wobbly. I need to test out how it works. And I also realized as I was talking, even though I'd stopped videoing, that I have got a couple of the So Hayley Jane luxury boxes. I've cancelled the subscription now because it is very expensive, but it was nice to get. So I have this cotton. So I think I've got something like 3.5 meters of this. I think it is a Lady McElroy black. I think it's black. Yeah, cotton. Which is absolutely gorgeous. It's all washed, that's why it's in this terribly creased pattern. And I was thinking a pair up between these two would be perfect. So this pattern requires batiks, chambray, cotton lawns, cotton blends, linen blends, rayon, poplin, so basically anything you can make in this. And I just thought suddenly that wouldn't that be nice? So that may well be a very near future project, which I was talking to myself about because I had accidentally turned the video off. So I can't remember what else you possibly have missed, but I'm really enjoying the slow process of my phone's really wobbling, so I hope that's not noticeable. I'm really enjoying the slow process of quilting, and I expect there'll be a few more of those projects. It's going to be really fun for me to try and pull this video together because I have recorded this so many times and things have happened. The doorbell went, my dog decided to cough up his guts next to me, and all sorts of things. So yes, I'm sure you didn't need to hear that. So anyway, that is hopefully it. I will now try to edit this and get it up for my usual Monday vlog. And I will see you next time. Bye. Oh yeah, please like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.